The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
But I want to tell you now a great story. And this story, especially those of you who know the organization of Chazak, will be so incredibly amazed at this beautiful, beautiful story. We know here in Queens, where I live, we have a fabulous organization. It's called Chazak. It's run by two brothers, Rabbi Ilan Meirov and Rabbi Yaniv Meirov. At a parlor meeting once when I spoke for that organization, Rabbi Ilan Meirov told this story, which was incredible. You see, his mother, Shoshana, grew up in Bukharia in Uzbekistan. Eventually she left Uzbekistan, she went to Eretz Yisrael, and there she married her husband Moshe. Now, they were very traditional, but not really very well versed in Yiddishkeit. They came to America and they had three sons, Shlomo, Ilan, and Yaniv. And Mrs. Meirov wanted to take her children that they should be in a Jewish school. So, in Forest Hills where they lived, there were some Jewish people, not necessarily the most religious people, and they told her about a school in Hillcrest. And that's where she thought she would apply and enroll her sons, Shlomo and Ilan. She came to the school and she just did not get the feeling that this was a school where she should send her children. She just didn't feel that warmth of what Yiddishkeit should be. Although, like I say, she wasn't herself that religious, but she just felt the school wasn't what it was supposed to be. And the truth was, she was right. It was a conservative school. It wasn't an Orthodox school. She came back to Forest Hills and somebody told her, there's a yeshiva called Or Yisrael. And Or Yisrael, she went there and the principal had a long flowing beard. It looked like a great Talmud Chacham, which he was. Rabbi Yeshua Geldzeller, Rabbi Shia Geldzeller, a Mechaber of Svarim. And when she walked into Or Yisrael, there were pictures of Gedolim on the wall. And from one class they were singing Mishnayos, and in another class they were singing Chumash, and another class they were davening. She didn't know what they were doing, but she heard that sound of authentic Yiddishkeit. And she came to the office and she began talking to Rabbi Geldzeller. Now, Rabbi Geldzeller was a wonderful person, and he knew from speaking to her that her children really didn't have the best background. And in the younger grades in Israel, the Rebbe spoke Yiddish, so he knew the kids are going to get lost. So here, Mrs. Meirov is in the office, and Rabbi Geldzeller is trying to tell her that really this might not be the best school for her children, and maybe she should try someplace else. And she's realizing what's happening. And her heart was breaking. And tears were coming down her cheeks because she realized that Rabbi Geldzeller is not going to take her children. And he looked at her straight in the face. And he saw her tears. And he said, they're accepted. That's why he accepted them. Because she was crying. Because she was crying and she wanted authentic Yiddishkeit for her children. Now I believe Ilan became the valedictorian in the school. Yaniv flourished. They all flourished. But Yaniv and Ilan became so great that today the Chazak organization, which is run by both of them, has over 300 shiurim a year. Not only that, they and the whole Chazak organization have taken out over 1,000 Bukharian kids from public school. So whose grandchildren are those 1,000 kids? Well, some could say it's Rabbi Shia Geldzeller's, and some could say it's Shoshana Meirov's. But that's only because the mother cared. And I'm speaking to all of you mothers out there. It's in your hands. The chinuch, the love of Yiddishkeit, the patience that you have with your children. That's what's going to bring Mashiach. And I'll tell you how I know this. You know why? Because it occurred to me, a mother is called an aim, Aleph Mem. You are the ones that are bringing the children from the generations that began with Adam, Aleph, till Mashiach, Mem. It's in your hands. Take it seriously. This is the night of Paysach, when all the sons, all the daughters should be loved and cared for, especially by the mothers, because the mothers are the ones that are going to assure the future of Yiddishkeit. Have a great Yom Tov.
You've enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org